Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday Motivation. How are y'all doing? I'm doing awesome, if you're asking. Okay, it says I'm live. So let me make sure I can actually hear myself. I got two kitties that's not supposed to be up that's up. So let me just make sure I can hear it. You can hear me loud and clear. I hope y'all are having a great Monday. I like to come on here on Mondays and give some motivation. I know, this past weekend has been amazing. Thank you for all the birthday shout outs. Thank you everybody who texted me, called me, got back to me, said anything nice. All the love was absolutely appreciated. My sons, everybody. The people I know, kind of know, my day ones, my real ones, all of y'all. Thank you so very much. And so it's Monday. I'm back to business. I'm celebrating all month, but we got to get back to business. So the 4 agreements is what I want to talk about today for Monday Motivation. I'm not sure if you all have heard of Don Miguel Ruiz. He wrote the 4 agreements. Hold on. And I think if you have never read that book, it's a book that you definitely want to read. It should be part of your arsenal because it will help you to deal with just regular everyday things that we don't necessarily, that we might not realize that we're doing. So that's what I want to talk about. If you are watching, please comment your city, state, country, and industry you represent. I put country because, believe it or not, on YouTube and on Facebook, we usually get some people that's not actually from here. So let's talk about the 4 agreements. Shout me out. Let me know what city and state you represent. Jason, hold your bubble, honey. So the 4 agreements, I'm not going to go into any particular order, but the first agreement in the 4 agreements is do not make assumptions. I cannot emphasize this more than ever because, especially in the world of social media and technology, and you know what the old saying is, if you make an assumption, you make the first 3 letters of yourself. If you have not had a physical conversation with somebody, okay, a physical conversation with somebody, you're not talking to that person direct, or like, you just don't want to assume because you literally make an ass out of yourself. What I mean by that is, like, let's say, especially in the dating world, right? Somebody texts you, you don't know if they text you back, or you didn't speak to this person, or this person saw you you think this person saw you while you were out, and here you are making all these assumptions in your mind about things that probably didn't happen. So never, ever assume. Do not assume. Do not assume anything, because I read once in a book, and even in this book, that 70% of the things that we worry about are things that never happen. They never happened, but we had it in our brains. We thought that it would happen. And so here we are assuming, right? So please, whatever you do, do not assume. Hold on real quick. Honey, can you please hold your bubble? Go get Trisha. Okay, so never ever assume. Never get caught up in the monotony of assuming something that you don't have concrete facts about. So do not assume. Let me see. I got a comment here. It says, hi, Pastor Robinson. Y'all shout out to Community Baptist Church out there in North Plainfield. That was my church home. Still my church home when I go to back to Jersey. Check them out, y'all. Definitely got to get them a shout out. So let me get back to it. So never, ever assume anything from anybody, okay? Always ask questions and never ever assume, because again, when you assume, you make the first 3 letters of yourself, which is, y'all can read. Don't assume. Do not assume. The next thing is, don't take anything personal. And in the book, The 4 Agreements, he actually goes so deep into not taking something personal. Like he says in the book that if somebody decides to walk up to you and shoot you in the head, you shouldn't take that personal, because the reason why they did that had nothing to do with you in particular, like directly. People, unfortunately, especially people who are very showing love in an unloving way is usually people who need the most love. Okay. Usually people who don't know how to express it, ask for it in unappealing ways. So I'm actually reading Don's other book now called The Mastery of Love. I'm on the first chapter. I'm almost done. I think I'm going to finish this book this week, to be honest. And another thing that he says to go with, don't take anything personal, is that most people that you come across or you're walking past that you see is dealing with some kind of problem, some kind of issue, or they're dealing with just the traumas that they never dealt with. And so sometimes they might react to you in unloving ways or in ways that are not, that would make you want to take it personal. But if you master the art of not taking anything personal, especially in your personal life, like, as public as I am, I'm very private about my personal life. But in my personal life, one of the things that I do, especially when you're out dating or you're talking to people, is that you never take the things in which that don't fit you personally, because you don't know why you don't know the root of why this person is acting this way. Doesn't mean that you have to take everything, or that you have to deal with people who are not showing just common courtesy, right? But in that moment, in the midst of all of that, you do not take it personal. Like, I used to be a cashier a long time ago. That was one of my first jobs at Home Depot. And I remember when people would come in my line, I actually developed and trained myself that, hold on. All right, sorry about that. So when I was a cashier, I used to tell myself when people came in my line, or even any type of dealings of retail, because I most of my career before I went into business for myself was in retail, and I used to say to myself or say to people, "Oh, he probably has an attitude because their dog died." So you never take things personal. You never assume or take what's happening with other people personally, because you don't know why they're doing this. You don't know why they are behaving in these ways. And I'm over here winded, y'all. I'm losing this weight, but it's making me so again, I'm gonna give y'all a story about why you shouldn't take things personal and why you should never assume. I don't know if y'all have ever heard this before, but there was a gentleman on the train coming home in New Jersey, and his kids were acting crazy on the train. And the lady just got off of work. She's all not feeling like hearing kids jumping up and down and acting all whatever. And the lady looked at him and said, "Man, can you please get your kids in order? Could you get them in check, please?" And the man looked at the lady and said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I don't know how to tell them to behave because they just found out that their mother died." And so in that moment, when she assumed that this man didn't have control over his family or his kids, and she was so caught up in her moment of just wanting some peace on the way home, that she assumed that he just didn't have control over his family. But then the beautiful part about this, or not the beautiful part, because it's not really that beautiful, but the part that we can really take from is, before he told her that, how many thoughts of inaccurate thoughts did this woman have? And then soon as he told her, "No, I don't know what to tell them because their mother died," it completely changed the whole outlook of what she was assuming what this guy was dealing with. So I want to encourage you to get to a place where she ended up being after she knew the facts. So instead of assuming that what you're perceiving is what it is, you just accept what it is, but not add to that. Okay. The other thing is, and I don't know if you've ever heard that story, but that was a very powerful story, because it definitely changed how you looked at it, and it made you learn in that moment to not ever take anything personal or to assume anything. The last thing is, or no, we still got one more after this. Always do your best. I don't care if your job, and again, you got to get the book because the book breaks it down better than I'm breaking it down to you. But if you have a job as a janitor, if you have a job as a water boy, if you have a job as a maintenance man, I don't care. This was something I drill into my sons when they were little, and now does not matter if it's your room, you make up your bed like like Jesus is coming to your place, or whoever you want to say, right? Beyonce or whoever, I don't know. I just put Jesus and Beyonce together. You know I'm gonna get some hate mail for that. She is not supposed to be in the same category as them. But whoever, your grandma, your mama, your sister, your brother, whoever you run and start cleaning up for before they come in, that's how you should make up your bed for you, is what I tell my kids, right? So you want to always do your best. When you do them dishes, I tell Zaire all the time, when you do them dishes, you need to do them dishes as if you're getting paid for them, because you want to make sure you develop these habits of doing your best, because how you do anything is how you do everything, and how you do everything is how you do anything, okay? And so always do your best. And then lastly, the last agreement is be impeccable with your word. I am old school, okay? I'm not old. I just turned 37 over the weekend, but I ain't getting old. I'm getting better, okay? I don't know about that old stuff. We don't say that. We don't be talking that old stuff over here, right? But back where I come from, in the time that I come from, they say your word is your bond. Your word is your bond. If you can do anything else, is to always keep your word. Be direct with your word. Be that person that says what they do and do what they say. Be the person that when I say I'm going to do it, I do it. Okay? And also be the person to say when you don't want to do it. And say when you say no, let your no be no and let your yes be yes. And I promise you, if you learn these 4 agreements, I'm going to go through them real quick. To make your word your bond. If you say it, you do it, okay? Because I try my best not to say anything that I cannot fulfill. Don't ever take anything personal. Please don't. Because most people who need the most love show that they need love in the most unloving ways. So even in those moments where it's like you should take it personal, still don't take it personal. Do not assume. Don't make any assumptions. And lastly, always do your best. Let me go to, this says, I was trying to share this in my page. Where are you? That means you in the group chat. I don't know who that is, but go to my personal page and you should be able to see it. I want to assume that's Vicky. Because I always say user. Hi, Facebook user. I don't know who that is. Hi, Trish. Trish, where is my picture? I want to see a new drawing. Not you, Trisha. She think I'm talking to her. Anyway, thank you for your comment. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was very helpful for you. But I promise you, if you read that book, The 4 Agreements, it is going to at least challenge your thoughts. I've read it multiple times. But I think it's like one of the annual books that I read. But I'm reading his new book. I don't know how new this book is, but I'm reading The Mastery of Love. It is absolutely amazing so far. I'm going to recommend it after I'm done. It says The Practical Guide to the Art of Relationships. I was online. I don't know why this popped up in my Amazon story. But I have plenty of books. Like I have bookshelves of books, right? And I realized I study science of, how to get wealthy. I study business books, personal development, but I don't really study. I maybe got 1 or 2 books about relationships. I said, let me do a little bit more research. Tell me if I'm the only one that need to do a little more research on that area of love and relationships. But it's really awesome so far. And what I've been reading so far, this is really helping me for any relationship, no matter if it's romantic or not, as well. So let me see. Hi, Tamara. I can't even see. You said thank you. You're welcome, honey. Why are you telling me thank you? And thank you for watching. So also save the date, y'all. April 30th, we have a Funding Fest here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to tell you why or who need to be at this event, okay? If you looking to make more money, start a business, have a business that you want to perfect, get funding for your business, learn about cryptocurrency or how to leverage social media like a boss, you need to be at the Funding Fest. You know how many times I get inboxed and stuff? I get it. Some of my products and services people can't afford or they're not that moment. But most people want free information. Here's your opportunity to get free information. It is a free event. How much is it? It's free. I'm going to say it again. Free. So please save the date if you are serious or know some people who want to learn about how to build their business credit, NFTs, social media leveraging, business one-on-one, how to grow your check and multiple streams. We're going to talk about all of that on April the 30th. This is going to be conducive to whoever or what area and business that you're at. And you can go to ZakiraGlobal.com to register or go to my website. I feel like my eye be crossing, y'all. Y'all better tell me if I'm live and I'm having a drop moment, right? It might be these lashes. But ZakiraGlobal.com. Go there. Get registered for this free event. It's going to be amazing. I have a special guest coming all the way from Atlanta, Link Green. He is the crypto chemist. He just wrote this book here. He's going to be in the building, as well as we have an expert on business funding. Her name is Tamika, and I don't want to butcher her last name. So it's a difficult last name, and I don't like when people mess up my name. So I'm not going to attempt to butcher that, but I'll just go to the link, ZakiraGlobal.com, and you'll be able to see how to register. Just click where it says business funding. Again, today we talked about the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Do not make assumptions, and always do your best. And I promise you, life will be so much more simple and peaceful when you don't assume, take things personally, do your best, and have an impeccable word. And with that being said, I hope this Monday motivation was motivating to